A lot of businesses still have no idea what's changed with the government's simpler recycling rules. Some businesses think they are compliant, but they're not. And what's worse, they're risking huge fines, higher costs, and public embarrassment. As a commercial cleaning company, we have to work with these rules every single day, so we know firsthand how crucial compliance actually is, and that every pound matters. That's why today we are not just covering the rules, I am giving you the budget-friendly strategy for staying compliant. What are the rules? Here are the facts you need to know right now. As of March 31st, 2025, every business in England with 10 or more employees must separate all of their key dry recyclables: paper, plastic, glass, and metals, and they must separately dispose of food waste. If you don't, the Environment Agency will issue a compliance notice. Ignore that notice and it becomes a criminal offense. While there is not on-the-spot fines, court penalties can reach thousands of pounds, not to mention the public embarrassments of a criminal record that no business needs. This is not a nice-to-have green initiative, it is the law. The Environment Agency is already monitoring compliance using waste data, collector reports, and even site inspections. So, if your bins are mixed, contaminated, or your waste contractor can't prove separation, it is not a small mistake, it's actually a breach. What changed recently and why that matters? You might be wondering, why now? The old system in the UK was a postcode lottery. Different rules for different areas, which led to a massive contamination. Recycling rates stood at around 45%, nowhere near the government target of 65% by 2035. Simpler recycling was designed to fix that, creating one consistent system across England to boost recycling and help the UK hit its net zero emissions targets. It also meant to drive over 10 billion in investment in recycling infrastructure. And with landfill tax climbing past £126 per ton and set to rise even further, the economic pressure is real. The policy isn't going away and it's the foundation of what's coming next. So, if this is the law, why are so many good businesses still getting it wrong? What are the risks? Fines and contamination. It often comes down to wish recycling. Think about that coffee cup. It feels recyclable, but the plastic lining contaminates the entire bag. That single cup can send 40 liters of properly sorted waste straight to landfill. The same applies to containers covered in food scraps, or stuff mixed in waste assuming it will get sorted later. It doesn't. All it takes is one wrong item to contaminate the whole load, and then your entire bin is diverted to general waste. That means higher disposal costs for you, higher emissions, and not to mention wasted efforts. And it's not just employees, sometimes even cleaning companies actually get it wrong. And guess who is getting the notice from the Environment Agency? Not the cleaners, the businesses. How to get compliant? Proper recycling will actually save you money. You pay less per collection, you need fewer general waste bins, and your staff are more efficient. So, let's move from risk to reward. I'm going to show you exactly how compliance can be budget friendly, starting with 2 key steps. Step 1 to compliance is simple. You need separate, clearly labeled bins for dry recyclables, food, and general waste. Step 2 is education and partnership. You need clear signage, consistent staff training, and a competent waste partner who guarantees proper handling after it leaves your site. Even if you do everything right, if your waste collector mixes it later, you're still liable. That's why partnering with the right cleaning and waste management company is crucial. They're your first line of defense, and if they're not up to speed, you're exposed. If you're not sure where you stand, there is a free wrap waste calculator that helps you measure how much you could actually save by recycling properly. I will link it below. It's worth 5 minutes of your time. You might be shocked by the results. How to stay compliant. This next section is for businesses who think they are compliant but need that final confirmation. When was the last time you've checked what actually ends up in your bins? If you haven't done a waste audit, you will be surprised. WRAP recommends a simple audit of 2 or 3 times, wait and record what's in each stream. This instantly highlights problems from wish recycling to staff errors. Let me give you a real example. We recently took on a cleaning contract for a site that looked perfect on paper. The bins were all correctly labeled, color coded, and in the right places. But after just a week of service, we've noticed something was off. The general waste was full of food waste mixed with clean cans and packaging. The recycling bins were packed with contaminated food containers, a few paper cups, and plastic wrappers sitting in the food waste. We spoke to the customer and explained that segregation wasn't happening properly. They were risking higher disposal costs from their waste collector, or worse, a compliant notice from the Environment Agency. The system wasn't working. It turned out the issue wasn't intent, it was simply understanding. We provided clear visual guidance and training sheets for each station. Within a week, recycling rates improved significantly, contamination dropped, and the system worked. This proved intention alone isn't enough, and if you want our exact step-by-step process for setting up those waste streams internally, the same process we use with all our other customers, I have linked our free resource guide in the description below. Compliance requires education, consistency, and accountability. And that applies to everyone involved, the staff, the cleaning company, and the waste collector. All three must align. If one fails, everything fails. So, if you run or manage a business, here's the 8-point compliance checklist you need to follow now. Check your bins, make sure each waste type has its own container and that's there clearly labeled. Do a mini waste audit. Track what's being thrown away for a week. Use the RAP waste calculator to see how much you could save. Preview your cleaning and waste contracts. Make sure both providers follow the correct segregation and use proper bags. Train your staff. Even 15 minutes of clear instruction will make a huge difference. The government isn't slowing down. This is the start of a wave. Micro businesses are exempt until March 2027, but after that, everyone's included. So the question isn't, should we bother? It's, are we actually ready? If you're not sure, don't wait for compliance notice. Do a quick audit. Use the RAP calculator, and if your cleaning company can't explain these rules in detail, that's your red flag. This isn't about more rules. It is about smarter systems and better business. If you found this video useful, hit like and subscribe for more practical sustainability insight. I am Antoni from EcoDrift. Thanks for watching, and let's make compliance and sustainability actually work for your business.